everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Beer with the Boss. Yes, that podcast where a guy and his boss have a beer together, talk about technology. We can also talk about other topics. Remember, you just have to let us know. Go to the comment section on this platform and tell us what do you want us to talk about. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel as well and give your like to this episode. This is very important for us and help us a lot. I'm Rodrigo Matos, work at WebBeta, and today with me again is my boss, Joel Zamboni. Welcome, Joel. Tell me, please, how you're doing and what beer are you drinking today?
Thank you for the introduction. Thank you. Welcome, guys, to our episode. I am drinking Kronenberg 1664. And how are you?
Fancy.
I'll tell you a story of this beer, but what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Brazilian beer called Eisenbahn is the name of the brewery. It's a pale ale. This is, it was a microbrewery one day in the city of Blumenau, here near where I live.
Oh, cool.
And it's a big brewery now. And even though it's a big brewery, they kept the, method, and it's still like, it tastes like, how do I say, like homemade, not homemade, but home brewed, but it's a large production scale right now. And I'm actually, Blumenau, it's a very nice city in the south of Brazil, and they have a very big Oktoberfest, just like in Munich, in Germany. And this year I'm going for the first time ever. I'm going there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So this beer, what I learned about this beer is 1664 is the year that they opened, so the first one. And
1664?
Yeah, it's 300
God.
something years. Yeah, so they're doing this beer in Strasbourg, France, which is France now, but
All right.
the name, it doesn't sound like the French thing. Anyway, so it seems that it was Holy Roman Empire at the time.
Wow.
So some sort of which is interesting because when you study history, and I think if you look at those books like the one that he talks about the sons of the Jesus or something like that, Alan Brown.
Dan Brown?
Dan Brown, yeah.
Yeah, it's the Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and when I see references about these places, I always remember, because this is like the age where in the book they refer to, like but it's in the similar ages where the Vatican was transferred to France, and then some things happen in churches around there. So it's interesting to see that this guy Dan Brown was able to connect with the real history, like facts of.
Yeah.
And it's fun because the book and the movies are so awesome. So
I love it, I have to say.
So the beer is good. The beer is a Pilsen, so there's not much happening here, but it's good.
Still good. Still doing the job, man.
Yeah,
beer is beer, yeah? Yeah. So the idea for us, guys, is to talk about sustainability, and we want to approach this subject. We know that sometimes people associate sustainability with something boring and square, even though it's important. But we want to try and address it in a way that, everybody needs to understand that it's not boring. It's something important, even for tech companies. So, talking about technology companies, Joel, I would like to ask you: is it possible for a tech company to be sustainable, to be green, with the huge amount of energy tech companies use to function? Is it really possible, or is it just like an utopia?
So, yeah, talking about green stuff without being boring, I think the core thing is you don't have to talk about being green. You have to lead by example. I think that's the best way to do this thing. It's like you just do it. It's like nobody should care if you are talking about being green, as long as you are being green, right? You just would talk about being green when you are in the context of talking about being green. That's, I think, is the main thing, because it's so polarizing talking about this thing. And really, if you try to have by yourself and be by example, like either when you when people see you recycling something, or people see you, I'm not going. I prefer to use to carry like my own package to the supermarket, to the grocery store. So when people see those things happen, I think they are more, because you're not talking to them about this, right? You just show them. In the tech company, so I really think it's very hard to a company right now to be green in terms of technology. But I also think that it's where the change can really happen, because most of the innovation is happening in this area. So when you see technology, it's like innovation and all those things is where it's happening. So if you have to have an answer on sustainability, it will happen in this industry. But now it's pretty complicated, mainly because we need more things to happen to allow us to be green. Even the initiatives are like are small compared with the size of the problem, right? We're throwing too much carbon on the nature right now, which is, it's a fact. I mean, it's not like how people say, the climate change is happening, and we are not sure if the humans are 100% the cause of the climate change, right? And then it's like, okay, what's the percentages that we have to be guilty to do something about the only planet that we have, right?
You don't need to be 100%.
Like, do you need to be like 10%, 20%? What's the percentage? It's like, above this threshold, we can do something to save our planet, or we can just, okay, let's assume that we will try to do something, right? So it's complicated, right? There's a bunch of arguments against, but like, the fact is, if we are able to hold the temperature, we are learning to control our planet also. So there's many benefits for the future generations. Like, I believe we will save our species, and we also learn to control our climate, which is good in the end, right? We see, okay, we reduce the carbon, we're able to reduce the temperature. Oh, good, we learned something. Or we reduce the cloud and the carbon and nothing changes. So yeah, that's bad. But I don't think that's the thing. But in this case, like in technology, we see companies like Microsoft, Amazon, not so much, but Google, creating like data centers, right? Data centers it's part of our technology, the cloud, are using less carbon. How do they do that? Using renewable source of energy, maintain the servers hotter because they tend to use less air conditioning to infrastructure, using recycled materials to build the data centers. So there's many things that the companies are already doing to get in maybe 10 years or 20 years to be less aggressive on the environment.
That's awesome. I didn't know that about that they keep the servers hotter, so they have a bigger control over the temperature, so they can get it to a limit that it's not going to be bad, right?
Exactly.
So that's as technology evolves, they can control the temperature better as well. They don't need to. That's cool. How about like a product development company? How would a product development company approach trying to be greener?
One of the ways that a product company can try to be greener is looking for where do they host their technology, right? Where do they host the technology? They can host on somebody's data center that is connected to a gas power station, or use someone who's connected to a gas power station, but also has like some solar panels that offset the peak of energy that will happen probably during the day in the hot summer, where the air condition will be trying to freeze to cool down the servers, and the sun is burning outside, but it's also producing a lot of energy. So there is a balance there. So and you can try to reduce your footprint with this, right? The whole thing is trying to reduce your footprint. You can also try to develop like we are partnering with a company in Brazil that Webera is building the infrastructure for them. It's called SIB, which we are developing a game to teach people about sustainability, like companies to teach their employees sustainability. So a product company can also teach their employees about sustainability. That's a good thing, right? Because and also don't need to be boring here. You can just start to use less paper, put those recycle symbols in everywhere, try to not produce big amounts of e-waste, right? E-waste is a huge problem, right? Try to reuse cables, reuse whatever you can, and inform your employees, right? You're receiving a used cable because we are reusing a functional cable that's working with somewhere. So is this several steps, small steps, and not like saying example. The more important is the example.
I want to go back to the beginning of our conversation when you mentioned that companies like Google, for example, have this like eco-friendly, let's put it like that, eco-friendly data centers. Like if I want to have a website, if I have a company and I want to reduce my footprint, if I am a small company or a bigger company, it doesn't matter, but how can I approach this thing? How can I have like a eco-friendly data center? Can Webera help me? What would you suggest in this case?
Your example, Google, right? Google has some data centers where not all of them, that they have a reduced amount of carbon emissions, right?
All right.
Like as Webera, we are a DevOps company, right? We cannot really select which data center you're going to put your stuff. So that's part of your. But internally, we develop a platform called Green Mainframe, which is just as small as a hosting infrastructure for websites that we use to show that we are able to deliver products. We train our teams there, but also host real clients. And we have a high available infrastructure that can handle high loads of traffic and all those things. And is also green. It's hosted on one of those Google data centers that have that's green amazing. Infrastructure. Yeah, so that's something that we are doing. So since we are a DevOps company, we don't really decide where you want to go, but we can help you if you want to go greener. We have this infrastructure that can help you, and we know how to build a
That's
good
awesome. Do you have a website people can go to?
Is greenmainframe.com.
Greenmainframe.com. Yeah, that's awesome.
Cool. Or webera.com/GM.
That's cool, guys. Just go to greenmainframe.com or webera.com/GM, and you're going to have access to this green hosting service. That's awesome, Joel. Thanks for sharing with us today. I'm actually impressed with that. Joel, nearly out of beer, so I guess I don't have enough beer for us to finish this conversation. So thank you so much. Well, I would like to do that next week again if you're available. And
me too. Yeah, maybe we can invite someone.
Absolutely. Let's invite somebody. And if you guys were listening to us, if you have anybody in mind you'd like us to invite here, let us know in the comments as well. We'd love to know who would like to see here.
Yeah, if you want to join also, please
absolutely.
Let us know.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Joel. Nice. Thank you, everybody. And
we pay for the beer.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We can pay for the beer. Just let us know that you want to participate and we're going to invite you, or suggest somebody you want to see here or listen to it here with us. And yeah, we'll cover the beer. Thank you. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.